Let's open up Safari and jump right into the tutorial. Say you have a bunch of tabs open and you just want a fresh start. You can long press this tab menu button to bring up a variety of options, one of which is close all tabs. Now, this button may seem a bit extreme. A lot of us have very important tabs that we probably want to keep open. If that's the case, you have a few options. Let's open the tab viewer by swiping up on the URL bar and long press one of those important tabs we do not want to close. In this menu, we'll have the option to pin tab, and if you look closely right here, see it shoots right on up to the top. I'll tap the very top of the screen to scroll all the way to the top very quickly, and lo and behold, the tab is now pinned here at the top. And this is exactly where it will stay. So if I go back here to this tab and select close all tabs, the pinned tab will remain perfectly intact right where I left it. Now, another way you can actually close multiple tabs is by opening up the tab viewer again, scrolling all the way to the top and searching for the tabs you want to close. I'll search for TechCrunch to filter to just those tabs, and check this out, it's really hidden. If I long press the cancel button, I will have the option to close tabs matching TechCrunch. If I do this, all the tabs that match this filter will close, and the rest will be perfectly untouched. And finally, on the topic of tabs, if you ever accidentally close one and need to recover it, press and hold this plus sign in the tab viewer to see all of your recently closed tabs. Tap on one, and it's right back where you left it. Alright, that is enough with the tab closing. Let's now cover a few more practical tips. Similar to swiping up on the URL bar to open the tab viewer, you can swipe to the left and right to switch between tabs. And if you're on the last open tab, swiping to the left will open a new one instead. Let's swipe over to this news article here because I want to show you one of the most underrated features in Safari, Reader Mode. Here is the website before I turn on Reader Mode. As you can see, it's cluttered and the font is pretty small. But if I hit the AA at the bottom, I can tap Show Reader, which will remove all the ads and other website fluff, making for a much more enjoyable reading experience. You can also just long press the AA button to turn it on and off even quicker. Let's go ahead and leave it on, and now I'll hit the AA again. From here, we have the option to change the background color, the font, and the font size of the website. Lastly, if you're on the go, you can even have Siri read you the page from this menu by tapping Listen to Page. After a couple seconds, the AA icon will turn into this speaker icon and Siri will start reading the article to you. Tap the speaker icon and we will be able to control the speaking rate, rewind, pause, and fast forward. Now, like I said, Siri is the one reading this to you, and it will be in whatever voice you have her set to in the Siri settings. A lot of these voices are pretty cringy, but I have found that the more recently developed voices are a lot more natural sounding. I'll go ahead and throw them up on the screen along with the section in the settings app where you can change them. And one last thing to keep in mind here is that Reader Mode does not work with every single website, but it does work for pretty much all the ones that I use regularly, so hopefully it does you a lot of good. Let's go over tips that are a lot more fun. Whenever you're on a site that you're going to need in the future, just say, "Hey Siri, remind me of this in 3 hours." And Siri will set a reminder with the link attached. So when you're reminded, all you have to do is tap on the link to go straight to the website. After taking a screenshot of any page, you have the option to save the entire thing as a single image. Just click this button right here. And speaking of images, you can long press any image in, say, a Google search result and select Copy Subject to copy the image with the background removed. I'll head to the Notes app, hit paste, and voila, works like a charm. Or if instead you want to learn more about what is inside of the image straight from Safari, you can tap this Look Up option and your iPhone will attempt to identify more information about what's within it. In this case, it tries to identify the breed of cat. Next up, let's open a new tab by sliding to the left and check out this start page here. As you can see, I've set the background of this page to be a lovely picture of a galaxy. You can do this too, just scroll all the way to the bottom and tap Edit. From here, we can set the background to be one of these lovely predefined ones Apple has provided, or we can tap the plus sign to choose our own from the Photos app. and a custom background is actually far from the only useful thing we have within this menu. Let's go back to the start page for a second because I want to show you the different sections we have. We have favorites, frequently visited, shared with you, privacy report, etc. It's kind of a lot, and let's be honest, we're probably not going to use a lot of these. So let's go ahead and customize it to make it more useful. I'll scroll down to the bottom again, hit edit, and here we see all of the sections that are on by default. I recommend turning off privacy report because I don't know why you would use it. I don't really use shared with you either because I just click on the links my friends give me directly. And also I turn off Siri suggestions because it feels a little bit creepy. But you can of course do whatever you want. Just know you have the option to toggle them on and off, and you can change the order in which these appear by tapping and dragging on the 3 lines. Let's close out of this, and oh, would you look at that? It is so much cleaner and personalized. Also, if you don't use this reading list, I recommend giving it a try. It's a great place to add articles you want to read later, and there's even a setting at the bottom of the Safari section in the Settings app that causes all pages added to the reading list to be automatically saved for offline viewing. I use this pretty much every single time I'm on an airplane. And if you do end up using this, the quickest way to add a website to the reading list is by long pressing the book icon at the bottom and tapping Add to Reading List. Alright, let's move on to a few more super useful features. When you're looking for a specific word or phrase on a page, you can type that phrase into the URL bar, scroll to the bottom, and select Find. This will open up a menu that is just like Command F on our computer. You can also do this same exact thing by hitting Share at the bottom and selecting Find on Page. This menu is also where you can send a page to the favorites section, which, if you remember, the favorites section is one of the sections we left on when we were customizing the page that opens whenever we create a new tab. If you long press the back button, you can quickly navigate to all sites you have recently been on. I use this whenever there is a website that does not take me back after pressing the back button once. Next up, let's quickly go over tab groups because they're one of the coolest features in Safari. If you aren't familiar with them already, a tab group lets you organize tabs of a particular category in a dedicated section within Safari. The easiest way to show you is to just make one, so let's make a tab group that's dedicated to all of our favorite cat-related websites. Let's go to a cat website, long press the URL, and hit Move to Tab Group. If we had a tab group made already, we'd be able to send this website directly to it, but instead I will just hit New Tab Group to create a new one. Let's give it a name, call it Cat, and now when I open up the tab viewer, you'll see on the left I have private tabs, in the middle I have my normal run-of-the-mill everyday tabs, and on the right I have my new cat tab group with the tab we just added at the top. And one of my favorite parts about them is you can actually make them collaborative. If we hit share at the top, I can send this to my girlfriend, and once it's shared, we will both be able to view, add, and remove tabs within this group, and any changes we make will be seen by the both of us. It's almost as if we are on the same phone. And lastly, let's go ahead and cover just 2 Safari settings that are super useful. I'll open up the Settings app and go to the Safari section. The first setting is here at the very top. You can change the search engine. You might want to change this, like for example, if you really value your privacy, you can set it to DuckDuckGo. Okay, let's go back, and now for the final setting, which is under the tabs section. We have the option to have tabs automatically close after 1 day, week, or month. I'll go ahead and set it to day, and now any normal tab that is not viewed after 24 hours will close automatically. This is super nice for just keeping a very clean, minimalist Safari experience, and it is super useful because we still have pinned tabs and tab groups that are unaffected by this setting. So if I don't close a pinned tab, or if I don't close any tab that's in my new cat group, it doesn't really matter. It will stay open even after 24 hours. And that about wraps it up. Let me know how this was for you, if it was too fast, too slow, if I missed anything. I'm always here to learn and improve. And if you subscribe, welcome to the family. There is a lot more on the way. So see you guys in the next one.